Central Texas thing, so I don't know how else to do any variations on that people haven't heard. So I guess just imagine it. I know I've spoken of Hayden Fry before, so there we go. There are other famous Texans besides him, but I just can't think of any right now. So here we are, yes. Of course, this is football season, and I grew up in Iowa, so I watched a lot of high school football there because in the small towns, that's practically the only game in town. Well, I like seeing some different schools play their games around here, and that included this past weekend, North St. Paul. And I'm still amazed at the people that I meet at some of these events. I saw somebody there, probably was school age, and he asked me if I liked football. It's like, I'm at a football game, so I probably do. And then he wanted to see the roster that I had, free roster, single page. And he said he knew one of the players, but didn't know his uniform number. And then he asked me if I played football. I said I was a coordinator of my school's team. And I was repeating myself. It's like, either you're just not good at listening or our American education system is broken. Either way, it doesn't impress me much. I mean, I don't ask for much out of people, but when they can't meet the minimum requirements, it's like, what else can you do but not waste time talking to them? I wish I was making that out. Well, it's always busy with different things that I do over the weekend with chores and errand running. I bought a car in June, and I did the first oil change on it back at the dealer over the weekend. And I had to make a reservation, and that meant waiting an hour before it was finally my turn. So it's like, well, now I have to find something to do. Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I guess I can go over to Target and get a candy bar. Well, I guess I've learned that once again that some things in life aren't free. If I end up buying things at Target, and then I realized that one of them was a DVD I already owned, it's like, oh great, I have to go back to that Target eventually and exchange it. And I thought I was pretty good at avoiding that from happening by making a list, but sometimes I still guess wrong. But what can you do? Just try to correct the mistake and see that you bring your receipt with you. So I guess sometimes it is good to keep your receipts. Well, also over the weekend I went to a show that had some improv troupes. And I do stand-up comedy, so I still don't know a lot about improv, but some. But before the show, I was listening to all of these dudes I didn't know talking about subjects that didn't make sense. I said these were inane conversations because they were about things like polar bears and Batman. And then I see them do improv, it's like, oh, I guess they were just warming up. I guess people warm up in different ways, but it just still didn't make sense to me. I guess like other stand-up people, we don't quite understand improv, but I'd like to think some of us are trying to. I mean, I saw that Mike Birbiglia movie, Don't Think Twice, which is about improv, and the one he did before that, Sleepwalk With Me, was about stand-up. So, some level it's relatable, but eye of the beholder as to how and where and when. I also went to the Oktoberfest celebration nearby at Rice Park. Except, I still like doing the one in New Ulm more, which I will be doing soon enough, and that one is actually in October. And I'm familiar with why they have some of these celebrations in September, because the original Oktoberfest was a royal wedding over in Germany and was actually in September in Munich, so there we go. But it does remind me of how some of these events, there's something that gets in the way of me enjoying it. In my case, it was I was trying to eat a bratwurst, and a bee kept bothering me. And at one point, the bee was right in front of my lips while I was trying to bite into the bratwurst. And then I saw somebody said, the bee was just trying to be your friend. And they got all condescending as to why a bee was bothering me while I was eating. Defriended on Facebook. Yeah, I wish I was making that up too, but sometimes people just push me too far, and being condescending is one of those things. I'm a pretty sharp guy. I can figure things out on my own. I don't have to have people dumb things down for me. Well, I work in corporate America. That joke pretty much writes itself on all the people that I see from time to time. There was one coworker that I really liked seeing, and he said, "Lyle, please have a cupcake." It's like, okay, I will. I guess they were bringing cupcakes to celebrate the birthdays in this particular month. And he admitted to me he already had 4 and said, "Don't judge me." It's like, well, dude, you already know me. I don't judge people because I don't like people judging me. I just know how shitty it feels. It's like, well, you could have kept that to yourself without having 4 cupcakes, is all I could think of saying. I try not to be too honest with people because I realized how costly it was not to be poker-faced in life. It's called I suck at job interviews. Also because, well, maybe because I just don't plain prepare for them well enough because I don't have the confidence from any successful job interviews, but that's neither here nor there. I actually have a mock job interview coming up that I should probably take seriously, but, well, hopefully that'll go well. If it isn't, well, I guess I can just mock it because it's in the name. Well, sometimes I get things that I have no use for. That happens in corporate America as well, where we were celebrating the opening of the pro football season, and there were drawings for Vikings merchandise. One problem though, I'm not a Vikings fan. So I ended up getting this ID badge holder with a Vikings logo on it. It's like, well, what can I do? Give it to a Vikings fan. Well, I found one in the comedy circuit. He loves it, so it's like, yay, my good deed for the day. It reminds me of when I did an eBay order and I got a bobblehead and there was a throw-in for a thing I didn't order, and it was a New York Yankees Jack-in-the-Box. It's like, I work with a Yankee fan. Give it to him. He loves it. He displays it in his office. And he's our facility manager. I went to him for advice about where to go in New York, and then I sent him a postcard saying, I went to one of the things on your list. I had to scrap a lot of things, but thank you for your help. Well, I guess thank you, you've been great. Woo!